This just in, a new virus called Solio has broken out across the globe. Reports say it is an airborne virus that attacks the cells in the brain and brings on a neurological disorder, turning ordinary people into secluded, unempathetic savages. Nationwide quarantine is soon to go in effect. If you must venture outside, beware of others. Keep to yourself and avoid confrontation. Everyone must do their best to stay safe in these terrible, dark times.
2 years ago, before a world of fear and divide, the deadly virus Solio emerged into the world. It all started with a puff of wind on Crooks Island, a small landmass in the Pacific. Unbeknownst to the world, this wind carried tiny particles of the infamous Solio virus. Soon, it had traveled to every continent on the globe, including the US. A nationwide quarantine was issued, but that did little to prevent the spread of disease soon to plague 1/3 of the human race. Many people had already unknowingly contracted Solio before medical professionals could learn more, mistaking it for mental illness. Now, as more and more of the affected isolate themselves, millions of businesses have closed across the nation due to lack of employees, and efforts to resurrect them have been in vain. The economy has crashed, bringing on an economic crisis of a scale that has not been seen since the Great Depression. To this day, there are still some individuals unaffected by the disease. Living in gated communities across the nation, society has transitioned away from the affected population. The world has learned to live with this terrible virus due to the fact that any hope for a cure is far from being developed.
The Solio virus is a tricky thing. Not only does it attack the body, but it causes an infected individual to have an extreme desire to be isolated from others. The Solio virus has many effects on people that are largely unknown. For now, the medical community has categorized the disease into 4 stages. Stage 1, yearning, Stage 2, sociopathy, Stage 3, resentment, and Stage 4, alienation. Solitude also has multiple other harmful effects, like sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation, loss of memory, learning deficiencies, trouble recognizing faces, poor sense of direction, and severe depression and anxiety. Right now, the estimated amount of reported cases has reached just over 3 billion, and it is predicted to increase.
Once people became affected, streets became barren and cities desolate. No children went out to play, and the affected's homes became their world. Weeds grew out from perfectly kept sidewalks, and cars began to rust as they sat unused for months. Mold grew in droves throughout the buildings and across cities. The unaffected quickly relocated to the federal gated communities that formed an fence. At times, delivery cars would range the long, empty roads of the city in hopes of keeping an affected one more day from complete insanity and possibly death, even if it meant they had to sacrifice themselves. First, we will look at a longtime victim of the virus, an old woman from a small town in California who has been infected for a year and a half.
I don't miss them, my family. I don't think about them anymore, and I don't even remember being with them. Now I just want to be alone. I don't leave the house. I don't talk to anyone. Why won't they put the Jeopardy on? Ah! I remember the day my daughter was born, the joy I felt. Now I just enjoy being alone, away from everyone else. Why would I want to see my grandkids? Why would I want to see anyone? What do you want anyway? I've been fine the last few months alone. What do you mean 2 years? Stop lying! Leave me alone now. Get out. I said get out!
In the case of Miss Oliva, the Solio virus has drastically changed her personality. Before the outbreak of the virus, Miss Oliva had a loving familial relationship with her daughter and her grandchildren. But because of the isolationism caused by Solio, she has transformed into a bitter, unrecognizable monster, becoming just one of the many this disease has hurt. This poor old woman has been separated from society for so long, she simply does not understand how to care and feel for others. At this point in her life, she should be connecting with her family and making memories. Even if she wanted to, she wouldn't know how. When people are not exposed to others and making connections with them regularly, they lose the ability to feel for anyone. This virus not only deteriorates people's minds, but their relationships as well. Next, we visit Paterson, New Jersey, where a young girl has been turned emotionless since contracting the disease 1 year ago.
What do you mean I'm the dying puppy? Why would I care about a useless animal? When I was younger, my friends and I would play with Barbies during our playdates, but now I prefer to be alone with my thoughts. They keep me better company than whiny little girls. When the virus first started, I killed my cat. I went outside one day and grabbed the biggest rock I could carry, and I slammed it down on the beast's head until it was just a puddle with dead animal chunks. I finally felt peace. It's tough out there. I always carry myself fluffy with me wherever I go. People try to take advantage of me because I'm little, but all I have to do is look at the left twice and bring in the old Red Cross, and they'll leave me alone.
Solio has taken away Susie's childhood, her innocence, and her joy. It has turned her into a girl with no emotion, no happiness, and no regard for life. The solitude that the virus has forced her into has caused Susie to be aggressive, sociopathic, and violent. A once sweet girl, Susie is now a vicious monster. Although Susie and Miss Oliva have been through similar experiences, they are affected by the virus in different ways. In Miss Oliva's case, she became a bitter old woman, but Susie has been fighting for her safety. Due to the fact that she is so little, she must constantly defend herself against those who prey on the weak. Having to prove that she's not a puny little girl has changed her personality and perspective on life. It also causes her to constantly fight others and establish her power over those who try to hurt her. When the virus first began, many governments created gated communities, spreading all throughout the world to protect the people unaffected from the virus. They knew that Solio was unstoppable, and that voluntary solitary confinement was insane. However, the unaffected had to be completely separated from the isolated. The virus spread quickly. Stores, jobs, and lives had to be abandoned for safety. And, though people are still safe, they are still trying to recover from their losses. Yet, they have everything they need in these gated communities. The government even supplies the communities through habitual airlift of vital materials. And though it was assembled extremely quickly, its success is keeping people safe. The lives of the unaffected have been drastically different from the lives of those who contracted Solio. Here is a married couple living in one of these many gated communities throughout the country in Portland, Maine.
When we first found out about the Solio outbreak, we were so worried. We didn't want to lose each other. Luckily, we were able to flee to a gated area before one of us caught the virus.
I couldn't imagine life without him. It can be tough at times always being around each other, but I would be so much worse off if he wasn't here.
I've talked to so many unaffected who are separated from the loved ones. It's the hole left in their hearts because of this damn disease. It's one thing that's always scared me about being close to someone, the thought of losing them.
We've been together for so long now. I wouldn't know what life would be like without him. I wouldn't even know what to eat.
Every day she always tells me, I've had no breakfast, and I'm like, sweetie, you need to get off your derriere and make something before I put you in a cooking class.
Oh, that's one of the many reasons why I love you, Troy.
I love you too, honey.
Troy and Lily now have a unique privilege in the world. They aren't alone. The maintained relationships of the unaffected population have allowed Troy and Lily to stay sane and grow together. But it has also heightened their fear of losing each other, something that has always been a fatality of relationships. In addition to isolating individuals, the Solio outbreak has caused the unfortunate separation of many families, such as these identical twins from a town in Mississippi.
She'd gone the moment she got that virus, and I have no idea where she'd gone. I can't believe my eyes. My sis got taken over by that Solio. She'd always been so confident and strong as a bull too. She never wanted to be without me. I sure don't know what I'd do all alone. We never go on our family fishing trips no more. She was the best fisher. She'd always catch the most majestic rainbow trout. One time, I caught this huge 30-pound bass and roasted it nice and crisp on a campfire. You see, I don't like bass, but Mary Ann Rose would endeavor when she had the chance, and that night she swallowed it up whole. We had always dreamt of owning a bait and tackle. We raised money for it by selling a lot of fish. I don't reckon that's possible no more. I miss her so damn much. She was my best friend.
They had all their ideas and dreams, and now they have nothing. They dreamed of getting their fishing gear and living out their days in peaceful happiness. But now, their plans have failed, and they don't even know where the other is. The situation these twins are in shows just how the best-laid schemes of mice and men often go askew. They had plans, but fate has worked against them, and now there's no hope for happiness for either twin. Their hopes and aspirations have been shattered.
I don't understand how I would ever want to be alone. A few months ago, I could have never fathomed leaving my family, especially my sister. But now all I want is to be the only person in this world. I can't sleep at night. There's this yearning inside of me. What do I want? Tell me, what do I want? Make it stop. Make it stop.
Mary Ann Rose is still in the early stages of the Solio virus, and she knows that she should be with her family, but she can't. She longs for the past, a past where she never had to leave her family or her sister. The isolation is slowly eating at Mary Ann Rose, making her question herself, her thoughts, and her actions. Once a bright, strong girl, Mary Ann Rose is now just a shadow of herself. She still has the desire to be part of a society and connect with others. However, due to her condition, she is unable to. This lonely girl just wants to be with people, but no matter how hard she tries, she will continue to stay secluded for the rest of her life. She knows that she is missing something from her life, and she wants it back badly, but she is unable to reach out and connect with people again. This makes her confused about why she has these feelings, but is unable to do anything about it and ease her suffering. Let's take a look at upstate New York, where two best friends have been struggling with the impacts of the pandemic.
Well, ever since our parents got infected, it's just been me and Lenora.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'd do without Jenny. I see all those people on the news. I mean, they can hardly be called people if you're all alone and not seeing anyone, not making connections. I mean, who are you really? If I was out there all by myself, I would be so lonely. So lonely. You won't leave me, will you, Jenny?
Of course not. I'll never leave. I promise.
But what about what happened to Susie?
Susie, I don't know where she is. She got infected. I haven't seen her. When will this nightmare end? So many people have lost their jobs. Me and Lenora used to have jobs. We used to work at a little coffee shop on 3rd Street near the school. The regulars would come in for their coffee and a donut on Tuesdays. It'd be so simple. And then our neighborhood got infected and we had to move to a gated community.
But it's okay, because we have each other. I've got you and you've got me.
You're right.
In the case of Lenora and Jenny, the Solio outbreak has caused their relationship to become strengthened, but at the same time heightened their fears of losing each other. The trauma of having to watch their friends and family slowly disappear has led them to cling to and rely on each other. But it has also allowed them to appreciate the value of companionship, the value of having someone to talk to, and someone to be with. Lenora sees the affected people losing their families and relationships due to the virus, and it deeply scares her that she could possibly lose her best friend. They are all each other has in this lonely world, and if they lost each other, they would be truly isolated. This fact forces them to stay close together and be there for each other through the good times and bad. The Solio virus is unprecedented in infection rates. We don't know if or when this will go away. We don't know if it can be cured. All we know is that Solio can cause anger, lunacy, and deprives you from your quality of life. The unaffected are our only hope in one day restoring human connection, but it will take years before their population growth is sustained on a global level if they can ever recover. In the last 2 years, the value of companionship has changed significantly. It is no longer something to be taken for granted or something that everyone has access to. Companionship is a luxury in this disease-ridden world and something that society will never be the same without.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross.
It's tough out there. We'd always dreamt of owning a bait and tackle, and we raised money for it. Memory loss, learning deficiencies. It could also lead to memory loss. I already said that. I can't believe my sis had gotten taken over by that Solio. That was so weird. I don't know what I do without Jenny. I'm so It's tough out there. I always carry my soft fluffy with me wherever I go. Some people try to take
Guys, if this is, you guys know how is Joe and Angie gonna be, guys?
Don't record this.
I didn't mean to push you there. No, I didn't.
Luckily.
No.
Like a montage of like behind the scenes. I missed it. Can I drive? Can I blend it with my beauty blender? Are we gonna do like never mind.
Red Cross. Stuff out there. I always carry the stuff with me wherever I go. People try to take advantage of me because I'm little, but all I have to do.
It can cause.
Guys,
How's it? Oh, it's too much on your
my
forehead.
forehead's big enough, guys.
Wait, are you
okay.
putting
The
on
way-
the wig after using your makeup?
Is it on the hook? Miranda, can you check me inside? No, it's not. I can't tell. What do I know? I think you have to raise it up more before. Oh, it's on the hook. Okay, yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not on the hook.
It's on the hook.
Huh?
No,
Down.
wait.
Down. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, and then
Hold
the
on,
other side.
hold on, don't.
That's your fault.
Do you like sharing? When I say don't touch my things,
I didn't touch it.
my things.
I said mine. That's your fault. That is
You
your
were
fault.
touching mine. If we try to touch them at the same time, it touches
Vanessa,
both.
I didn't touch anything.
Yes, you
I
did.
touched my thing.
You touched Jesus. Okay.
Are you crying, Vanessa?
You're crying too. I can't like force him. He doesn't even want like no, he'll want me.
Okay, Vanessa.
Feels like
Sorry
Hogan.
about that.
He's on
Oh no, Miranda. No.
I never said
That
that
is-
that boy liked me. Oh, if you put your feet down, he might come in your lap. They smell bad.
He's like offended by that.
He's gonna maybe come but like slow. How is he with other cats?
He doesn't want you to
He
see.
might come later. No.
He said no.
He said, I don't like you, Vanessa. Transform!
Come back! Bye-bye, Granny. I love you.
Miss Leva?
da, 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 da.